Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing good. It's April 30th, 2020. Kind of a rainy day out there, quarantine life. Um, so I figured we can make a quick tech tip video on how to bring in vice jaws into your part and set it up so that you can check your holder or your shank to the fixture, to the vise when you're doing a verify of your operations. So I'm going to start with this part we see here. It's a Formula SAE bracket from Mastercam's website. The text exchange is a great spot to find post processors, part files, tool libraries, anything like that. So with a current maintenance subscription, you can you have access to there, and you are able to download anything you need right from that website. Of course, you can contact us for any post processors, anything like that. But we'll get right into it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to set up a level for my vise. I'll give it level 100. I'll call it vise. I'll go File, Merge. I've already picked out this Kurt vise. And I'll say Open. Notice it's a SolidWorks file, so make sure you're looking for all files. When you're bringing in a SolidWorks part file into Mastercam, if it's from, say, SolidWorks 2020 and you're bringing it into Mastercam 2020, make sure you have your first update done. The first update gives you the translators you need to get 2020 part files. Otherwise, you have to bring them in as step files. So if you're ever having issues bringing in a SolidWorks file, give us a shout. We can help you out there. But most likely we just need the latest update of Mastercam done, and there shouldn't be any problems. So you'll notice that the vise came in at the wrong orientation. That's okay. We're going to move it around using the dynamic translate. So before I hit OK, active level is pretty important. What that does is that level we made before we brought it in, that makes sure that all the geometry will go on that level. If not, it all gets spread out into individual levels. Just the way that they design the vise in SolidWorks with the different features. So we'll say active level. And we can also dynamically move the geometry right from here, but we're going to do it after. So all the different levels, but everything got consolidated into our level 100. So we can delete everything. We'll just say right click, clear empty levels, clear all. Now, let's move this out of the way. So what's nice about using the different levels is we can just right click and say select all. Oh, there's our vise. We'll go to transform and dynamic. We'll grab the center of it. We'll just bring it down. Now it's out of the way. We can spin it. Now if we use these tick marks, we'll snap every 5 degrees. If we move our cursor out, we can kind of get any degree we want. And if we just start typing, hit enter a few times, we can go right to 90. I think I'm going to spin the part When I look at it, I think I want to spin this. So I'm going to say rotate. And I'll rotate it 90. Same idea, we can just type the number in, hit OK. I think I went the wrong way, so I think I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to say rotate, I'm going to hit the part. This time, I'm just going to go 180. It's nice to get familiar with these transform features. Being able to move the part around is pretty important. So we're not going to worry too much about our origin right now. Since it's going on a 5-axis machine, we're going to use our center of rotation. We're going to do that later though. So I'll just turn off the gnomon. Now, we're going to have to set up some stock. The best way to do this is using a boundary box, but again, I'm going to make a new level first. So, new level, stock, select my part, wireframe, bounding box. Now, I'm not going to get too crazy with this, but our X will give it a little bit extra there. Let's call it 1.9. Our Y, 2.25. And then our Z, give it 2.25 as well. I want to make sure solids is on, and I want to make sure lines and arcs is on. And so now that I have my stock set up, I'm going to move my vise to fit. So this, I want my part in the center of this vise, since they're just going to clamp down in the center. So one way to do that is to find the center here. Now this will snap right to my midpoint. So there's my center of my vise. I'm just going to have the top jaws grab it for now. Obviously, there's 10 different ways we can do this, and we're probably going to want to hold on to a little bit more than just that. But for demonstration purposes, this is what I'm doing. Again, just finding center. I'm sure Eric will make fun of me for drawing lines, but that's okay. So let's move our vise now up, and we're just going to grab onto the part. So since it's all one level, I think I'm going to put these on separate levels so it's easier to move them. We'll cross that bridge when we get there though. So I'll say transform, dynamic one more time. I'm going to put my gnomon right on my center point. I'm going to move that right to my center point there. And you know, I'm actually going to call a little bit of an audible here. I'm going to take my solid and go to model prep, push and pull. I'm going to move my stock down to here. So what I just did, I'm just kind of moving using some model prep tools. I can push and pull my stock right now and move my part around. Like I said, I'm kind of just winging this, so I think this is where I'm gonna want it. So now that my stock is accurate to what I want, and my vise is in the right spot, I can move my vise jaws in and just clamp onto the part. Probably a few ways to do this one as well. What I'm going to do is set up a new level, 101. This is going to be called vise jaws 1. I'll grab the vise jaws that are going to move. I'm going to right click, move, and I can select vise jaws number 1. I'll say OK. That looks like what I want. Now I can right click and say select all entities. We're going to translate this. I'm going to say vector from and vector to. So I'm going to say we're going to move it from here to there. Obviously it moved it down. I don't want that. Just want it to move in the x direction. So I'll say 0 in my z. I'll say move. Let's save this number. I'm gonna copy that. So right click copy. I'll say OK. That is not what I want. Let's undo that. We'll say dynamic. We'll grab everything here. And we'll just move it and grab the part. I like dynamic a lot. See what happens when I don't use it. Things don't work out. But that looks pretty good. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Make a new level. Vise jaws 2. And then move these. Select all. Dynamic transform. I'll snap to my face, grab my X, snap to my side. Since I grabbed the X, it's only going to move in the X direction. So I could pretty much grab anywhere on this face, and it's going to slide my jaws in the X direction to that face. I'll say OK. And I'll clear colors. So that looks pretty good, and that's how I want it. I'm going to move my origin to the center here. Give it a quick ISO. F9 turns on my crosshairs. We'll take a look at what I got. I can turn off my stock. There's my part. And we'll save it. bracket with vise. So that's how you bring in a vise into Mastercam. And now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to call our stock in our toolpaths, and then we're also going to want to call our vise our fixture. In another video we can go over basic toolpathing. So for now I'm going to pop open the toolpath manager. I'm going to load up a machine. Just use the mill default. Stock setup. Let's say solid. I'm going to select our stock. I can turn it back off. But that's going to be our stock. Now we have to label this as our fixture. What we can do is in our verify options, we'll need a quick toolpath. Do that real quick. So in our simulator options, we can set fixtures, and we can use levels, solids, or files. In this case, we're going to say levels, since we have multiple solids. 100 through 102. We'll hit OK. Now, when I verify selected operations, my fixture is now on its own visibility level, and I can verify against that. So that'll do it on this video. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, feel free to reach out. Support at Macdac gets to the support team. So yeah, hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's staying safe, staying busy. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this.